Hello and welcome to the Hardcore Soft Skills Podcast Skill Coaching Series. My name is Yavi Caro, and in each episode, I address a different skill with the help of an expert. This episode marks the end of season 6, and we will be back to the interview format. However, based on the positive feedback I've received from these mini episodes, I'll still have the coaching episodes as a follow-up after the interviews to deep dive on the skills we addressed. I'm very excited about sharing more advice with you, and remember that you can get much more info by signing up to my newsletter via hardcoresoftskillspodcast.com. Today, I intend to answer a question I have been asked at my current 9-to-5 job in the defense IT world. How do we become more agile? If you did not know, my full-time employment is as a consultant in the tech industry with the U.S. military. There is an increased demand to make us more agile, to respond to requests sooner, to get rid of bureaucracy. So I decided to do some research and explore this question further. I believe that in order to become more agile, it is essential to develop our soft skills. You can have a team of brilliant IT performers, but if those performers do not have the skills to collaborate, communicate, manage conflict effectively, and be adaptable, then your efforts to become agile will fall short. With that in mind, I did some research with various sources and put together 3 of the top reasons why agile initiatives fail and the skills you need to practice in order to avoid this. Number 1. One of the key reasons listed was lack of buy-in from leadership, mid-management, and other team members. No matter if the leader or CEO says we should become agile, your initiative needs buy-in. So, which skill do you need to address that? You must cultivate your communications. First, you must define the message. If you are saying we will become agile, do not expect that everyone knows what you are talking about. By definition, agile is the ability to move quickly, and in the product-oriented world, I highly suggest that you read the Agile Manifesto for further reference on what agile can look like in your organization. As a leader or manager, your job is to provide the vision of what this means. Is it that you want to deliver products frequently? Is it that you want to be flexible? What does that look like? You need to be able to describe a clear vision of what agility means for your company. We will start using Jira or a Kanban board. It's not a vision of agile. The first step is to get in front of everyone involved and say, this is what we mean, and this is why we are doing this. Not because it's the latest trend, it's because you don't become agile, you are losing customers, you are losing money, or any opportunities, or whatever the case may be. Practice your pitch and be concise. Communication will be critical to get people on board. Once you have the message, make sure you spread the word and find all the venues possible to ensure the word is communicated across the organization, while also emphasizing the benefits it can bring for those involved. In the show notes, I list a couple of episodes which will be very helpful to craft your message. Number 2, work in silos continues. In order to be agile, there must be collaboration among teams. In a non-agile organization, the team communicates via a manager or an individual who then communicates with the other manager, and then they pass on information across teams. Agility involves flatter communication. What matters now is how those people in a particular project or product development work together in the most efficient way possible to make it happen. How to address this? This is not a matter of telling people, collaborate. It requires developing the dynamics needed to allow the team to collaborate. Learning and implementing collaboration techniques and processes is very important. For example, one of the practices of the Scrum framework is to have a stand-up meeting with all of those involved as a part of a team to develop a product. These meetings are meant to be super short, like less than 5 minutes, and everyone talks briefly about what they accomplished the day before, what they plan to do today, and any impediments. If an issue was raised, it will become an after party or getting together after a meeting. But the great thing is that you already have everyone in a room to discuss as needed. Other practices may be integration of teams by putting them in the same location and especially allowing those teams to really talk with each other. Remove the middleman or middle person and simply address issues, exchange ideas as they come along. Your job, if you are a leader, is to incentivize and promote this collaboration. Your job as a team member is to remove the mental barriers to collaborate. Reach out, network. It is very important to cultivate that skill too. And lastly, another reason cited for failure of agile initiatives is low tolerance of learning and adapting, or simply inability to innovate. Change is really hard. We want to continue doing things our own way if we perceive that it is working. Therefore, the ability to manage change and foster an environment for innovation are some of the skills required to address this challenge. When I spoke with John Cotter about this, who's an author of the author for change management, and I talked to him for an episode of my podcast, and he talked about the steps needed to foster change in organization. These include creating a sense of urgency, building a coalition, forming the vision and enlisting people to make it happen. Also, removing barriers, generating wins, and as they occur, sustain acceleration. You can listen to this interview with Cutter and the links on the show notes. So you have to think through each step and figure, how do I adopt this to my own organization? Another skill necessary to ensure people adopt Agile is to promote continuous learning and enable an environment of trust. This is easy to say, but if you are a leader, you must show you are willing to learn new things and obtain feedback with humility. You must foster an environment where change and failure are welcome. So I want to hear your feedback. If you're going through any agile changes, let me know how it's going. In my newsletter, I'll share some of the resources I use for today, so make sure to sign up via hardcoresoftsskillspodcast.com. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you soon.